feels like the sunlight's dying a lot faster today. I guess it's that time of the year, huh? And with that in mind, what's going on today? A lot to do with things like military drones, actually. How about this first one? This one says, Ukraine war, kamikaze drones fired towards Kyiv, Mykolaiv flats hit, grain deal threat. Ukraine's capital region was struck by Iranian-made kamikaze drones early Thursday morning, sending rescue workers rushing to the scene as residents awoke to air raid sirens for the fourth morning in a row, following Russia's massive deadly assault across the country on Monday. And they said it's basically rare, but I guess residential areas are being targeted, potentially, I don't know. It says here, attacks on Kyiv have become rare before the capital city was hit at least 4 times during Monday's massive strikes. Is this for retaliation for that bridge bomb and stuff like that? And they claim here the goal of Russia's deliberate attacks is to cause civilian deaths and destroy civilian infrastructure by shortage of electricity and heating, provoke a humanitarian catastrophe. Costin said, coupled with the intimidation tactics against civilians, it's a classical act of terror prohibited under international law. And with all these kamikaze drones, there's more, I guess, preparation for potential nuclear war. Is this inevitable at this point? It says circumstances for NATO to use nuclear weapons extremely remote, the Western Defense Alliance's Secretary General said on Wednesday. Wouldn't it be a good time to have itchy trigger fingers? I don't think anyone will win if people start firing nuclear bombs and all that at each other. And still with the war between, I guess, Russia and Ukraine, how about them using drones and crashing into each other? This video, you could see it appeared to be a Mavic 3 drone, and they basically collide, except one of them didn't survive. You can see in the video, one of them actually crashes into the drone and the propeller flies off. And I was trying to read this, I guess, through the Google Translate, and apparently, I believe the drone that fell was a Russian drone, and the person was trying to say it was so skillful and so forth to take the drone down. Can you imagine that too? Using things like a Mavic 3 drone in this case, just crashing into each other in a kamikaze style per se. Although again, I look more like pilot error in the same sense of crashing into a tree or a branch per se. Have you ever tried to capture just drone on drone for fun? I know for a lot of people, because they're so used to just staring at the screen. Even if you're kind of far away, it looks like it's right up to you, like face front. And when they do that, people freak out when you pass the drone, I guess right past the camera and all that. But still, everyone using, I guess, drones one way or another, huh? Ultimately, again, you want to focus on things like danger and all that. It's more about what people are using and how, ultimately. And then I quickly read this, which was kind of interesting to think about. Apparently here, it was an article of, it says here, a BC woman who claimed she was left by hiking group. So apparently she went to Mount Baker or something like that, and while she was hiking, for whatever reason, she couldn't keep up, and according to this, the group went without her. And she was thinking before, oh, maybe she should head back, but then she decided, oh, I'll keep going. It says here, a woman from Vancouver claims she was left in a dangerous situation alone on the trail high up Mount Baker because she couldn't keep up with an online hiking group, and search and rescue groups say this isn't the first time a situation like this has played out. Jay Santucci admits she's not an elite hiker and she should have done more research on the route, but the online social group had indicated the hike was intermediate level, so she thought she'd give it a shot, carpooling with others to Mount Baker in Washington last weekend. And they said in hindsight she should have discussed more with them, but it makes me wonder, because here apparently as she was trying to go up, it says they eventually came back down and she didn't follow them. She goes, oh, I might as well finish it. And then there was notes saying how when you go in these groups, you should go together and leave together. And it makes me wonder, why would you even leave people behind in that sense? At the same time, in terms of things like levels of difficulty, it comes down to things like your experience and fitness, I guess. Because I know a lot of times I hike the stuff, they say it's super difficult, but to me, it could seem really easy. It's just a normal walk. So in that sense, you have to know what kind of group you're into, I guess. I can't imagine just leaving people behind if you went to a hike with a group too. Imagine going to something like that grouse grind, for example. You guys saw when I went up the mountain and you just leave people behind there. I mean, what's the point of going together? I mean, regardless, you again should stick together, in my opinion. right, see you guys later.